From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey everybody, Rob Cairns here. I'm the founder, CEO, and chief digital strategist at Stunning Digital Marketing. In this podcast, Laine Naida joins us for his SEO chat, and he's going to talk about CMSs that matter for SEO. Grab a drink, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Hey everybody, Stunning Digital Marketing is your digital concierge. We help you put the pieces together to make your marketing success. Specialties we have including WordPress design and development, WordPress security, which is one of our most popular offerings, ads, and more. So if you want to succeed in the digital world, go on over to stunningdigitalmarketing.com and have a look at what we offer, and we'd be glad to help you. And let's jump on a call and make it happening. That's stunningdigitalmarketing.com.
Hey there, and welcome to another SEO talk. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Laine Naida. You can still find me on Twitter X. You will always find me on Twitter X, but you can also find me on Blue Sky and everywhere else. It's Warren L. Naida. And I come in once a month with Rob to talk about my favorite subject, and probably yours, SEO. And it's interesting because last week, on the same day in the morning and then later in the evening, I was talking with two different people, and they both started the conversation with, this whole WordPress drama and Wix and Drupal that seem to be taking up some of that space now. Does this affect SEO? I mean, does the platform impact our SEO? And immediately I am knee-jerk reaction is that yes, but then no, it's SEO, so that depends is going to be your answer. But that's the topic that I want to talk about today, and I think it's pretty interesting. I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to wrap up, because if you don't have time, then you can just listen to the first few minutes and then take away. And so we're going to do this a little differently. I'm going to wrap up at the beginning, and then I'm going to go a little deeper. So, I think if we're talking about the impact of our website platform on SEO, there's going to come down to some basic technical questions. SEO is much more than keywords. And so basically, if we're even thinking of Google as measuring speed, and there's a lot of talk about page builders slowing down our websites and our static websites a lot faster. And does Google and Bing, do they give a CMS of any standing a little more ranking value? So a lot of discussion about that. I mean, generally, if you've got a code-heavy website, it's going to load slower, and it's not really interesting, perhaps for your audience. They don't really care if your website is WordPress or static that your kid made. They just want to find answers to their questions. So our code, our build, this is the foundation. We can definitely compare apples with oranges, perhaps our CMS with our static sites. You've got WordPress, you've got Wix, you've got Shopify as perhaps, larger names for the, B2C, we talk about enterprise, we're looking at Drupal and co. These make our websites much easier to create, and a lot of free functionality there. So it really, I hate this term, but democratizes the web. So great. If you need a website, you can get in there. And from static sites, HTML and CSS, I mean, these are fun to learn. Learn these. You can put together a website very simply, and you can still optimize for SEO. Sure, you don't have a plugin. Sure, you got to put your own schema markup in there, but that's all part of the fun part of website building anyway. WordPress, highly customizable. Drupal is great for a larger site, a steeper learning curve, but still super open source system. Shopify and WooCommerce for your shops. If we're looking at e-commerce SEO, SEA. And then we've got like up and coming Wix, which again, because of the whole WordPress drama, Wix is much more noticeable now. It costs. WordPress doesn't cost anything. Wix costs things, and WordPress is portable, whereas Wix isn't. But Wix is really doing a lot when it comes to SEO, and so it's an up and comer. There was a time before WordPress, yeah. I think outside of the foundation, your considerations have got to be which platform integrates easily with, Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster Tools, Google Tag Manager, any of your shop peripherals. That's got to be a question. It's got to be consideration. And obviously, your developer ecosystem, this, can speed up or slow down any SEO implementation. Going back to the first part, if we're talking analytics, security, compliance, how easy can you optimize your website for accessibility, for sustainability? Is this an easier or a harder task? I think these are very important considerations when it comes to SEO. So it's not just about the platform. It's not just about the keywords. It really is about how well, whatever you're doing, your words or your tools are optimized. So, you're going to choose based on your business needs, whatever your resources are, whatever your goals are, I think will make the difference. As far as Google and Bing say, whatever you're going to believe that they say, John Mueller has said a few times that they don't really care what sort of CMS you have. They don't look or give preference to any one CMS, and that static created websites are just as fine as those created by WordPress. So that would be like the sum up. If you got to go, then go, and hey, but come back later, maybe. Yeah, I think when it comes to the platform, to your CMS, I think that we've got to talk about the technical considerations. We have to talk about the ease of content management. We have to talk about the user experience. We've got to talk about international capabilities. There's a lot that goes into our SEO. And so, again, the ideal platform is going to be whatever one makes it easier for you to use. We always like to laugh and say SEO, oh, well, it depends. But it really is true. SEO in your website build, it really depends. Okay. Every month it's SEO is dead or SEO remains the same. Regardless, if you're using a CMS or a static, I think the fundamental core principles of SEO, they're ever changing, sure, but they basically are the same. The relevance of your content, your keyword optimization, your backlinks, user experience, these are pretty much consistent. So, if you build in Wix or you build in HTML, one is not going to give you the benefit over the other if your fundamental SEO is wrong. Now, there's certainly advantages and disadvantages to each of the systems. Like CMS, WordPress or Wix or whatever we have, Drupal, Joomla. Certainly, we've got ease of use. It gives us the ability for really dynamic, on-the-fly content management, which that's going to improve our SEO because our visibility is going to be more consistent. Gives us the support in the community that we need. which means that we have access to plugins, to extensions, to modules, however you want to name it. And I think out of the box, you've got a built-in responsive design, which means you are accessible over mobile, which, I mean, hello, it's 2025. We've got, what, 70% of our web traffic coming over mobile. If your phone is not, and I don't want to say mobile friendly, it should be more than mobile friendly. It should be, mobile exciting. We've gone beyond, friendly and satisfaction with our customers, and now we are looking for delight. So if this isn't really enjoyable to use on a mobile phone, then I think this is a bit of a problem. Certainly, there's disadvantages to CMS. It could be cost function, a cost and technical resource question. Code bloat. There's a lot of fat websites out there, and everyone likes fat, but maybe the loading time doesn't. You got a lot of dependency on plugins. You got a lot of dependency on perhaps themes and page builders, which are just not necessarily as they don't need to be so necessarily big. And some offer customization challenges. I mean, this is quite clear. So there's that to think about. Static websites, on the other hand, I mean, you've got much faster performance, got fewer vulnerabilities, and you've got full control over your customization, which in many respects you have more or less in CMS, but a lot of times you hit a block and that's it. Disadvantages, of course, you can't scale as easily, and you're limited perhaps in the functionality that you have with plugins. I mean, anyone who's coded responsive forms knows how much easier it is just to click on a form plugin. So both have advantages and disadvantages, before you start thinking about any of the SEO content. So I think, when it comes down to deciding if you're going with a CMS or if you're going with a static, from the technical side, I think it's, the load speed is really important, obviously. The ability to index and be indexed and offer schema markup and structured data that is useful to search engines is obviously really important. It has to be completely accessible, which means mobile, which means in the entire book of accessibility and barrier free, and it really can be sustainable. There's really no reason to have your website take 9 seconds to load and exude, I don't know how many tons of CO2. It's a website, for goodness sake. It's not a Ford. So I think these are obvious considerations, and for many people that means a CMS, but I don't think it rules it out completely. I've mentioned Wix a lot, and WordPress, you can say it's the overall best CMS for SEO, but when it comes to a lot of the new things that are coming out for SEO, for learning, for community, for, I don't know, some of the changes that are happening, Wix is being talked about a lot. I'm only saying this to remind us that nothing is set in stone, and we should be aware, if we want to impact positively our SEO, then I think we need to keep our eyes and ears open, along with our options. Every platform offers something special and good, so let's keep our options open. All right. Certainly, I mean, WordPress is still the best platform, especially for small business and co. So but if you've got a shop, then Shopify for SEO is certainly of great use. I mentioned our platforms, our CMS, our static, and I mentioned the basic SEO, but there's also to consider our back end, so our hosting. Do we have a good hosting platform? Um, is it delivering speed? Is it delivering support? I think this is also an SEO consideration. We need to make sure that our websites, they're not just accessible, but they're also future-proof. Anti-fragile, I believe is the word. So that any failures that we have, we learn from, we build on those, and we're building on a solid core. Because if we've got a good core, then we have stability. And system stability is crucial for business. Anamika Beauvalet, she's got this, well, she probably doesn't have this tattooed on her, but she has this tattooed in my head that, when I think of SEO stability, when I think about stability in anything to do with web, I have to remember what she says. And, I'll say it again. You build on a solid core of best practice. And that core is going to give you stability in your systems. And system stability is crucial for your business going forward. So maybe less of the trending SEO tweaks and a little more focusing on long term. This has got to be an important consideration. And I think it trumps general SEO. Okay, so yeah, I think take a look at your system. Make sure that whatever platform you're using, it fits your business requirements, it matches your technical resources and your marketing goals, which will include then obviously your SEO. We're dealing with a Swiss Army knife here. Everything is connected. This isn't a toolbox where the tools are separate. All right. So keep it consistent, keep your effort good, keep your SEO and your websites clean, and yeah, we'll see you again. Bye bye.
Thank you very much for listening to the STM Show. The STM Show is brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, your digital concierge. For all your digital marketing needs, especially WordPress security, jump on over to stunningdigitalmarketing.com and let's help you put the pieces together and make your business succeed in the marketing realm. That's stunningdigitalmarketing.com. Very special thank you to Laine Naida for joining me on this edition of the STM Show. This podcast is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I love you. I miss you very much. And thanks for all the inspiration over the years and your caring, your understanding, and helping me grow as an individual. Thank you, Dad.